Welcome back to Ground of Aces, episode number 12. We did take a casualty in our last raid on the base. We did not come out unscathed. It was the largest raid. It was a maximum size raid. It does not get any bigger than the raid we had, and we definitely took some damage. We lost all three of our refueling tanks. We lost the roof here. We did take a casualty. Neville Williams, a gunner, is been lost, so he'll be buried here soon. We also took some damage to the roof, just machine gun damage, so rather minor. In the grand scheme of things, none of this was too worrying. We were certainly okay as a result, but definitely not the situation we want to find ourselves in. Speaking of situation, I do think we need to do something about these fuel tanks here soon. I've already added the order to rebuild the roof here, but of course there's going to be some damage from that collapse to put away. We also took a little bit of damage here. There was a lot of damage compared to other times because we were also on mission at the time, and we did not get all of our planes airborne, or at least I don't think we did. Maybe we did. We lost one plane as well. Whoa. And this Spitfire... Okay, it looks like we might have saved the pilot, but not the plane? I'm not even able to select it. We'll see if they can get that fixed. Right now it's completely unselectable, but we do not need to have a base level Gloucester Gladiator, which is what we lost. I think another Hawker Hurricane is in order for this one, so let's go ahead and bring that in. And yeah, there's the exclamation point on our overly damaged plane. But we do have a gunner to replace, so let me see about doing that. Crew is fine, and it looks like our gunner's already been buried in the last couple of minutes, and there's a gunner available, so that gets crew back in order. I gotta figure out which plane they belong to. There's our gunner in the Bristol Beaufighter, and the gunner is assigned, so back in business there. Meanwhile, we were making some really rapid progress in our projects, widening of the airfield, and this is one of our chief problems right now, though, is even though we have a Tier 3 runway that's still active and usable, all of these planes are only wanting to use the other far runway. For some reason, it's kind of glitched out, so in the short term, we need to be patient with this, and there we go. We're making some progress with these assignments. Let's go ahead and... Oh, it's not a building, it's an object. It's outdoor. There we go. Replenishing fuel tank, and we will put 3 of these guys in. That's the end of the week. The only mission we did not succeed on, we didn't start. I think we're going to need a lot of repair items, fuel. While we have plenty, is going to eventually be a problem, so I think we did finally finish the hangar floors, so we will start on those walls soon. The parking spot is ready to build, so everything has been delivered. That will be built here soon, but we all are completely out of victory points now, so it's going to be a while before that happens for us. Wow, this storage is full. We've got way too much low caliber ammo, high caliber, and plane bombs. Pilot competition. Spitfire with a 37. Oh, we got a Spitfire with a 42 now. 83% chance of winning. I'm going to give it a little more time to see what happens, but it looks like this plane it's done. Looks like it's scrap. We've got iron and spare parts, which means we need to harvest. Yes, there you go. We're gonna have to harvest it, go from there. We may have a pilot left over, and that's a win. We're nearly done with the recovery from that last raid. Rather quickly, I might add. It's gonna be a couple more days, and looks like maybe I need to queue up the cement mixer. more than 40. Maybe we need to double this to an 80. Oh, we're out of water. I just queued up some water to be harvested, but tank squad bombing run this Hampton is nearly maxed out. The new one, looks like the new one, it will probably give us enough. No, that's only 84%. Oh, now they'll use the other runway. And that's a success. So, yeah, the victory points is really the last thing besides this other replenishing fuel tank. Parking spots now ready. We just don't have the victory points to park our Stirling there just yet. And we've made room for another Spitfire, which of course we're back at 3. Light fighter interception. 98% chance with 1 Spitfire. That's easy enough. And they are back to using the tier 3 runway, so good. Good. They are not skipping all the way across. Artillery spotting mission. Mustang, 99%. This will help acquire those victory points quickly enough. Now the recovery is complete, and we're almost out of projects at the moment. The widening of the airfield is all we have. 1 vacancy, which I think I'd like to put another Spitfire in there. However, I would prefer to get the Stirling first. We need the 8 victory points for that. I wonder if we have a spare pilot right now. We might have one, considering the... Well, this screen won't help me with that. If we look through, there's possibly 1 pilot that's got no assignment. Yeah, there you go. Keith Flynn. Keith Flynn is available. So when we eventually lose a pilot, and speaking of Keith Flynn being available, as we succeed on that mission, Keith Flynn can be assigned here for now, while awaiting a plane assignment. And our gunner can also be assigned there, the replacement gunner, which means we're actually short somebody on the searchlight. But screw that searchlight. That's where we take casualties the most. That searchlight has not helped us much. Though I wonder if 2 or 3 of them would actually do the trick. Okay, we need 70. 92%. You know what? I'm going to take that. And it looks like pushing it to tier 4 is not going to hurt us. We're getting maximum air raids. I don't think they can get more severe than what we're getting as we succeed on that one. So if that's the situation, that it's not having anything to do with the runway tier, meaning expanding this to a tier 4 isn't going to hurt us. We've got the width for a tier 5. We've got the materials for a tier 5. We will soon just push her on out down to our maximum extent down here and see how far that gets us. Heavy bomber interception. Okay, another easy enough. Ooh, not an easy enough mission. This one is very dangerous. A lot of bombers, 120. And this is, of course, our time where we are due for a raid. It feels inevitable they're going to hit us with a raid while these guys are out on mission. 97% with 5 planes. Please do not hit us with an air raid right now. I knew it. I knew it. It feels like there's a connection between the two. It's a heavy bomber interception. The heavy bomber interception is intercepting a raid on our base, but succeeding on that mission doesn't stop the raid, doesn't slow the raid, doesn't weaken the raid. And so now most of our fighters are not here. We have 2. We have 2. We're going to scramble these Tempests as well. Maybe I need to scramble the bow fighter. It's going to pull one off of a gun, but it's like we get a double mission, simultaneous double mission. That's everything but our bombers. They took out 2 planes, damaged 2 others. We've got 16 planes inbound. 4 heavy bombers, 4 dive bombers. And our mission just succeeded. There's 2 fighters successfully making it through. Here come the dive bombers. Last one. Well, we held them off. The only damage we took was from the fighters. The AA guns did their job. And mission successful, but again, didn't change anything. Those planes didn't come in damaged or lessened in any way. Now, of course, it's not uncommon to have more than one raid at more than one place at one time, because you're spreading the defenses thinner when you do that. So you do mass raids. So it could have been one of the others. Well, we have filled right on up on our tier 1s. And our tier 3s is nearly full. Tier 2 is good. Lots of space. So we're going to need another tier 1 tent. We'll make a nice big 16 by 9. Large troop transport. Let's go ahead and get on with that mission. 99% with 2, including our newest Hampton, which still needs a lot of training, a lot of missions. Oh, we are out of sand. Okay. That's an easy enough fix. We still have all this sand right here. And the secretive birthday mission. Luckily, we have our other Hampton for that, for a 95% chance. And that's 8 victory points. Is that enough? Airplane shops, short Stirling. There we go. All right, we are bringing in our first Stirling from the Short Brothers. Width is 30 meters, length is 26.5. It's a Bristol Hercules 11, 4 Bristol Hercules engines, 8 machine guns, 6,400 kilograms worth of bombs. It goes 454 kilometers an hour with a 5,000 meter ceiling and 3,700 kilometer range. Big crew though, 6. Okie dokie. Now we have that one fighter spot that we are going to save for a Spitfire, so we will bring in another Spitfire here soon. Not enough chairs. Not enough chairs. Okay. We do have enough beds though. That's good. Birthday mission was a success, and we can put more chairs here opposite the others. And there we go. Runway upgrade is complete. Do we want to immediately begin work on the next one? Okay, that's as far as we can go lengthening wise. That does get us to just beyond tier 4. Well, that was a fast week. 8 missions, all successes, and we have kind of exactly what we need right there. Our kitchen, though, needs to be turned up on the number of meals they're making every day. Oh, it's set to 60, but apparently that's not enough. They eat twice a day. Turn that up to 80. Factory bombing run. Okay. Oh, that floor is done. Hampton, and the weaker Hampton gets us a 99. Let's go ahead and start making walls for this guy. Alright, that's a successful mission. I think it's also about time we start working on the hangar walls here. So we're going to look at hangar, and I guess we can place a windowed wall, right? Light bomber interception. Just a 30. This will be easy enough. Let's take some of these lower level, less experienced guys like this Mustang pilot. Success. And that's that 3rd victory point we needed to refill this last parking space with a Hawker Hurricane, which is now much stronger. 4 Hawker Hurricanes instead of, well, at one time it was 1 Hawker Hurricane and 3 Gloucesters, and now it's flipped all the way to 4 Hurricanes. So definitely a stronger subset of planes. Wow, that wall went up fast. Hello. Small troop transport. Just a 30 on the delivery, so we should be able to succeed with our latest Hampton, which was a 40 minimum, now is a 43 already. He's making progress. Oh, that's only 83%. I think this is a detection situation. Says safe though. Stays at 83. Stays at 83. So yeah, we'll take the new guy, give him the experience. Now the other question is for these hangar walls. Do we want internal walls? Obviously we don't want to want to cover this side. That side's going to remain open, totally open, but we will put up separating walls between the planes just to make sure we have something to hold up a roof. That's a success. Meanwhile, this project is coming along slowly, but it's coming along. And look how fast they are covering this. That is wall section number 2 complete. Medium bomber interception. I think we might be switching to like hangar exclusive for all future buildings. Spitfire gives me a 76% chance already. This Hurricane gave me 98. We'll take that. Let them focus a little bit on the runway before we do wall section number 3. Here they come again with the raid. Medium bomber interception. Go ahead and scramble. So we only put 2 planes on that. All fighters and multi-rolls will get airborne except for the bow fighter. We don't need to scramble the bow fighter. Let him be on the AA gun. But for the 2 Tempests, they're not on the AA guns, so we can get them involved. Full max raid though. That's not a single empty slot. Ah, they're skipping this runway again. Okay. Took out 5 planes. So there's definitely less coming at us this time. 14. Last time there were 16. And two damaged bombers. That still leaves 5 heavy bombers. 1 damaged dive bomber. 4 overall. And it's these fighters we have the biggest trouble with as they come in now. They're coming in from the northwest this time. So far so good though. Everything's been shot out of the sky. 4 dive bombers left is all. First one. Second. Third. Fourth. Wow. Nothing got through. Nothing. Beautiful. And mission successful. Looks like we've used up what sand we had collected. And that's why we're not making any progress on the runway at the moment. So we'll queue up the harvest there. Okay. Change facility bombing run. It's a light one. It's not going to take too much to get through. We're up to a 59. This one's nearly maxed out. The newbie. Oh, that's only going to give us an 84. I think that's more about the difficulty of the mission. Okay, harvest complete. And so they are quickly making their way through the runway once again. I'm going to give that one more day. Have that be nearly done. I don't want this runway being unusable. I want our 2 usable runways at all time. So how are we looking on this one? We've got a 50. It's going to take 3 planes. So let's give a little mix. A couple Hurricanes. And a Tempest, 99%. There you go. Bombing run success. Up to 3 victory points. Working on that 4th one right now. Food supply. Not doing as well as before. It's not doing as well. We are starting to make our way through the food, it looks like. We have more bodies than food production itself. Standard food production. So I think that's my next addition. Not the wall, but sand's already down to 65. I'm going through that very quick. Still haven't finished with this. That'll be done soon enough though. We need to expand our farms a little bit. What am I doing? Areas. There we go. Expand. Plenty of seeds, so I'm not worried about expanding seed farms. Even if we slowly start seeing that dwindle down, it'll actually help us with the storage situation. As we take a clear sky recon mission. This bow fighter can handle it. 99%. Sweet. We don't use them very often. Added a temporary assignment in the farm expansion. I'm gonna wait another day for that third wall, and suddenly we are getting a bit light on planes again. Okay, runway's getting close to done here. We'll have our first tier 4 runway momentarily. Success. Meanwhile, the farm, not expanded yet. Sand is down to 9. Let's get back and harvest again what we can from here. Trying to empty this space so that we can turn that into parking spots. Another shipment is due soon. I think I want to use... No, food rations are fine. Food is just slowly dwindling, but like I said, we're about to take care of that. And there is our runway. Complete, besides getting rid of this large rock. There we go. We now have a tier 4 airstrip. Possibilities, of course, we're going to want to turn that into a tier 5. Now they're going to work on the farm. And so now we can queue up our... What am I looking for? Hangar. There we go. Interior wall. Week 26 comes to an end with a perfect week. We have plenty of fuel. What do I want to bring in instead? Let's go with, well, the food situation. We will rations instead of fuel for that one. We definitely don't need bombs. Okay, we're also going to queue up our windowed wall section right here to get that last wall done, besides the back wall and doorways that'll come with that. This is done. Let's go ahead and turn that into a storage area, but we're going to turn it into a specific tier 2, tier 3. We want just tier 1, and what do we want to keep this one as? Maybe just food, as the gardens nearby, and seeds. Air support, Spitfire already gets us a good amount. The Hurricane gets me to 72. Another Hurricane gets me to 99. There we go. We want to turn seeds off on this storage area. I think food's okay to double up though. And that's bombs. We need a tier 3 as well, which means we need a hangar. Wait, quick and easy. And a success. We're up to 7 victory points already. We're going to need a parking spot here real soon. Farm expansion's nearly done. The runway expansion is done. All the side walls are done. We just need the back and then a roof, and then I need to queue up water. We're low on water stock, so we'll take care of that here real quick. And then we'll finally see if we can make a hangar into a sturdier storage unit. And I suppose that will be in this space. There's an idea. What we're gonna do is next to this parking space, right along the edge of it, and to like this width here, we will just add an extension there, turn that into a hangar, and then when we can construct this into a hangar, it's just off of it, but that'll be the storage space. There's the plan. So we need to harvest trees right here. Supply drop behind lines. Hampton, 70%. It's dangerous. Oof. Has the risk. Up to 90 can be lost during the mission. He's got 89. I'm going to lower our chances a little bit. 71% chance. But he's not going to die on the mission. Before we start that mission, let's take a look at our tier 4 availabilities. Got an Avro Lancaster, a Westland Lysander. What is this? Is this like a scout plane? Oh yeah, detection. Stealthiness, super low. It's not going to get detected. And actually can do a decent amount of transport eventually. Tier 1 parking spot. Okay. Tier 1 parking spot. Hey. We're already tier 5 width. We don't need to get any wider. Well, let's make ourselves a tier 1 small parking. Officer hostage. This is a single plane job. And the Spitfire gives us a 96% chance. Mini recon mission gives me a 2930. 95% chance. We'll take that. Parking spots ready, and we have 9 victory points. Let's go to the airplane shop. Bring in that Lysander. He does have a navigator with him. Ah, that's why they're so good. Not enough beds. Oh man, pause. That storage is so full. Okay, beds. Let's get our next sleeping section queued up. This area is cleaned out, and our Lysander is ready. Let's get him started. 75% chance. Can be shot down. It's a dangerous mission. They can't go around this way. They got to go around the super long way. Okay, success. Last little section of wall too. They're nearly done with these walls. We need to get a roof over this though to complete the hangar. Run. Very dangerous. Very dangerous mission. Oh, there's our Stirling. He's got a kind of a max that's less than the others. 99%. Nice. 3 Hamptons. Walls on each corner. There you go. But not across. Just the corner. That's a success. And that is a wall queued, or a roof queued up. Wow, they built that other wall section very quickly. Heavy fighter. Interception. It's the big bombers that indicate something's on its way, right? So we're okay from this one. Should be okay. 96% from 4 planes. We'll send 4 planes. We're going to start with this section for hangar floor. All these supplies just sitting out. I'm not going to expand to a tier 5 just yet. Well, we've survived the raids that came this time around, and we've made forward progress. A lot of forward progress. We now have that tier 4 runway. We are on the verge of having proper hangars for our first set of bombers, and then we're starting the process of having our first storage inside a hangar, but only just beginning that process. But we've added 1 large bomber that we've only used a single time in mission, but we've added a new scout plane, and we're doing okay on victory points. We're well on our way towards that next stage, so things are going really well at the moment. The farm expansion is still incomplete. It appears to be very low on the priority list, and rightfully so. And the food's actually doing fine. It's back up to 326. It was just apparently a little period of not really having the harvest at the right time. Most of the harvest kind of occurs at the same time, so comes in bunches. Food supply is doing fine. So overall, things are looking really good right now. And we are getting the maximum air raids, it would seem, that the game can offer. Therefore, it's not going to get any tougher. It's just a matter of us being complete, getting those tier 5 planes, and getting through. It's February of 1941. I have no idea if there's a time frame, a window of victory in this game. No clue, but things are going very well. I think one of our next things will be trying to upgrade to the highest level airbase. We're up to Group C, and that's a stage higher than we've been. It is a stage higher than we've been. So we have just recently upgraded from an A field to a C airbase. I think for me at this stage, that's got to be the ultimate target, is get to the highest level airbase. So our next upgrade to Group B is going to be a runway tier 5, minimum 4 plus runways, and 15 parking spots. I don't think we have any of those at the moment. I know the runway, obviously, we don't. It's tier 4 at the moment. We can extend that out to tier 5 soon enough, but we only have 3 runways, not 4. So we are going to need an additional runway. I would think we would probably want another tier 3 runway, maybe a tier 2 runway, just for some extra like Spitfires. Bring in an extra, 4 Spitfires on a tier 2 runway type thing. A little more air support. Realistically, we don't have enough bombers either, but I don't know. I'll think about that. That is going to do it for this episode, though. I'm Decathlon Gamer. Like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Have a good one. Be safe out there. Bye for now.